Hello YouTubers, my name is Elise and I'm coming at you guys with another video, and this time it's going to be all about the pros and cons of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. First I want to start you guys off with the pros. So I've been in Fort Bragg. I moved from Fort Bragg from Fort Leonard Wood about 3 months ago. So I've been living here for about 3 months. We PCS during the pandemic and that was the whole thing. But I would say one of the pros about Fort Bragg is that the base is huge. Like there's 2 PXs, there's 2 commissaries. There's literally like 100 food places you can go to. Like I've never been on a military base that had a Cold Stone Creamery. Like I've never seen that before at a military base. You can pretty much like be on base, and if you lived on base, like it's like a whole little city almost. There's not a lot of traffic on base that I've experienced, but I would take into account that a lot of people are teleworking. So a lot of people aren't driving on base right now because the civilians, a lot of them get to work from home. So it's not a lot of traffic right now that I see. The hospital is pretty huge. And then there's like multiple clinics too that you can go to on base. So on this base, I think they have about 9 other clinics on base. So it's a pretty significant amount of like options that you have. And then you also can go see a civilian doctor too. This TRICARE is like, they allow civilian doctors within the network. It's kind of different because when I lived in Fort Leonard Wood, that was not an option. But here, that is an option. And I guess just because there's so many people. There's not much to do in Fayetteville, but I will say that it is a pandemic once again, and North Carolina is a hot spot. So that's probably why I'm not getting like a lot of like stuff that you can actually do in Fayetteville. But other than that, there's actually there's a lot of places that like home decor places and furniture places. North Carolina, I don't know, it's just like furniture store after furniture store, home decor store after home decor store. There's a TJ Maxx, I love it. Ross, love it. Marshalls, Home Goods, any home decor store you can think of, they have it. Fayetteville is also close to Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh is about an hour and a half away from here, so it's not too far of a drive. And then Raleigh has like malls and stuff there too. Charlotte is about 2.5 hours away from here. I did go to Charlotte for my birthday, and Charlotte has, I mean, it's not much to do in Charlotte when I went. And once again, you know, we gotta just take into account the times that we're in. But it was like a very like city atmosphere. It was nice, and like being outside, just walking, and it was just like a more of a city feel to it. And a lot of people were out, and there's like a lot of bars around, and a lot of nightlife going on in Charlotte. I've also been to the beach here in North Carolina, and the beaches are about 2.5 hours away. And the beaches are actually really nice too. It's not too crowded because there's a whole coast of beach in North Carolina, so it's not too crowded, so you're able to kind of spread out. And then it's like close to Myrtle Beach too. So Myrtle Beach is probably like 3-4 hours away from here. Not too far of a drive. I'm not really a fan of Myrtle Beach, but I know there's like a lot of like kid-friendly things to do in Myrtle Beach, but that's about 4 hours away from here. So you kind of get everything you want. Like you can go to the beach, you can go to the city. There's so much to do, like if you're willing to drive to it. Another pro that I have found in the Fort Bragg area is the outskirts of it. So there's Spring Lake, that's where I live, and there's Rayford, there's Hope Mills, and Rayford, Hope Mills. Yeah, those are the ones I can think of right now. And those are like the outlying areas. And there's a lot of new construction going on right now. So one of the biggest things that for us is that we were able to buy a house here. And it's a new build house, and we live in it now. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, and we were able to get it for a really good price. And it's just a lot of new construction. So you have a lot of options, and it's like in a gated community. So it's very nice here in North Carolina. Like there's a whole bunch of new builds that you can look at like as living options versus living on base. Like there's a whole lot of options out here for you. So moving into the cons. Big con of North Carolina is their taxes. Like the taxes here are kind of, I've never seen so many taxes like anywhere that I've lived. And I've lived a lot of different places, and North Carolina has a lot of taxes, especially if you're registering your car here in North Carolina. There's a 3% highway tax based on the value of your car that you have to pay when you register it. Then on top of that, you have to pay property taxes. And if you're in Cumberland County, which I think majority of like the Fayetteville area is Cumberland County. If you live in Cumberland County, you have to pay Cumberland County taxes and Fayetteville County taxes. And Fayetteville County taxes can be almost an extra like $200 on your, like when you're registering your car for your property taxes. If your spouse, I would definitely, for the service member, I would definitely make sure you send in your LES. And if your LES has like your home of record is a different state than North Carolina, then you won't have to pay your property taxes. So make sure you always send that into the county tax assessor when you get here. So you'll be exempt from property taxes on your car. The taxes here are just kind of really high, but just be aware of that when you're like registering your car or your property taxes for your house. Like for us, ours was in our escrow, so we didn't really have to worry about it too much, but they're very high. Another con is the healthcare here. For me, it has been a reoccurring thing at multiple bases now, and Fort Bragg is no different than anywhere else. The hospital's a lot bigger, it's nicer, but the healthcare here, the doctors, you kind of have to stay on them if you want answers on things. If you get a lot of wrong information here, and for me, it's just been like an ongoing thing. So I'm kind of one of those people. I will contact patient advocate. If you're a new spouse, you always, if something is going wrong with your healthcare or TRICARE, if the hospital isn't giving you answers, or if they're not trying to give you appointments, if you can't get those type of things and it's a serious situation, then you always contact your patient advocate. It was also very hard for me to get a PCM at first. When I moved here, the PCM TRICARE assigned me to was a pediatrician. So make sure you do your research on who you want to go to. You also can see outside doctors that are within the network, of course, but just make sure you do your research, because sometimes those outside doctors can't take you because they have a full patient list already. But just to tell you guys, stay on top of your healthcare. Another con of being here in Fort Bragg, which I didn't have to worry about when we were in Fort Leonard Wood, is that now my husband is a part of the 82nd. While it is a great unit in the military, they are always deploying. So 82nd is they're on rotation all the time to deploy. And so my husband always has to be on that ready, and I kind of have to just be prepared for that any day he can deploy. And when he was at Fort Leonard Wood, we kind of didn't have to worry about that, because there was no risk of him deploying at all from Fort Leonard Wood. But now it's a lot more likely for us. So I'm hoping that we can get out of here before one happens, but if it happens, it happens. So we're just constantly, we're just ready for it if it happens. So that brings me to the end of my video about Fort Bragg and the pros and cons. Sorry for my subscribers that I haven't made a video in a very long time, but it was in the middle of PCSing. We was in the middle of my husband going to airborne school, and it was just a lot going on. And, you know, right now we're just like in the middle of a whole new situation. The next videos I'm coming up with is PCSing during a pandemic and things to do while your spouse is away. And if you guys have any ideas, just shoot me a comment below. But I am going to be back on it, making videos. Yes, please watch my past videos that I've already made. Like if you're interested on how to get a job while you're PCSing, I made a video on that. And also PCSing videos my PCSing video has a lot of good information in it too. So stay up to date, you guys. I'll be uploading every Friday. Thank you for watching.